Hey everyone, Bethany here with Craft with Bethany, and I have some exciting news to share with you all. I have decided to take on a new adventure, something that, this year for me has just all been about growth. Expanding my skill set, learning new things, relearning old things. I'm really excited. It's a big leap of faith. It's going to be a lot of time to put towards this, but I'm really excited. And today is my first day to start this venture. Now, before I tell you what it is I'm doing, I thought I'd take a moment to tell you a little bit about my background. I feel like a lot of you may not know this information, and it kind of comes into play with why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, so as you all know, I sew. I love to sew. I've been sewing my entire life, over 30 years, a long time. I think I was around 7 or 8 when I really got into sewing and started taking sewing classes at a place called Dancing Needles, which is no longer around, but it was a sewing and quilt shop kind of place here in my hometown in Nashville, Tennessee. My mom's a sewist. She made a lot of my clothes growing up. I've just always been around it. I actually went to school for fine art. I love to paint. I love to create. I love to craft. I loved my pottery and clay classes. I loved my sculpture classes. Not a big fan of the drawing classes because I love abstract. But, I had such a fun time in college doing that. But then I decided to shift my focus back into fashion design and merchandising. So I switched schools. I went to fashion design and merchandising. And that is where I really shined. I mean, I've always been okay at school. I've just kind of skirted by doing the bare minimum, and I was okay with not being a student. I was an A-B student, okay? School was not a priority for me. It was a time to socialize, I'll be honest. But then I got into fashion design, and for the first time in my life, I had a drive. I had an interest. I was passionate. I loved it. I could not get enough of it, and I had a 4.0. I was obsessed, and I was acing this, like excelling. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I found my skill, like my gift. I mean, I really had honed it into that, and it was very obvious. A life happens. I had my son. I became a single mom and spent the next long time. He's almost 17. He'll be 17 this year. Pursuing whatever I could to provide for my son. So I spent about 10 years in staffing, recruiting, and HR. Did not love any of that. Learned a lot. Made some great connections. But at the whole time I'm doing all of these types of things that we're not designing and creating and crafting and sewing, I quickly realized this was not where I was supposed to be. Just not. It never was. But I couldn't figure out how to get back to where I wanted to be. I needed to provide, but also needed to create. And that's a hard balance because creating doesn't always translate to providing. And creating can be expensive. So I said, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. And I know one day God will open a door. He has opened a lot of doors for me, and he's clearly closed some doors for me as well. And I don't know the big plan down the road. I can't see the future, but I am putting my trust and faith that he knows what's best. And he got me to this point, and I think it was all in his timing. So here I am now in the sewing industry. I love my full-time job. I love sewing and creating and making projects and videos and all of that. And then I have Craft with Bethany that I do as well. And it's just another way for me to connect with the sewing community on a more personal level. I love answering your DMs and helping out with projects or issues, or just cheering you on to try something new. It brings me so much joy and fills my cup. But this whole time I'm doing all of this, I'm sewing for myself. I love making my own clothes. I've really gotten back into that. And it has just lit that fire that I had in fashion school. And I cannot explain what that's like. I don't really have words for it. And I'm usually not one who is looking for words to say. But it is... It has come back into my life with such a desire, and at a time when it was right. I am back in this world of sewing all the time. I'm surrounding myself with sewists and some of the best of the best. I'm interviewing them on the Social Hour podcast where I'm the co-host. I have put myself into this industry in a way that I didn't see coming and didn't think would happen. And here I am, and I'm like, what's my next step? So here I am to tell you what I've done and what I'm about to embark on. So here's my big news. Are you ready? I am so excited. I cannot. I have been planning this and excited about this and looking forward to this for so long. The day has come. I got my email. I'm logged in and I'm ready to begin my first day of pattern making and drafting school. That's right. I am enrolled in a 12-week, 90-day program put on by a wonderful woman. Her name is Victoria. She is based in Italy and teaching this course. And this is a very fast-paced course on pattern drafting and making, specifically for PDF patterns. This is something that I've always wanted to learn how to do. I'm going to backtrack for just a second and let you know that when I did fashion design school, these programs didn't exist yet. There was no learning how to do it digitally. I did it all by hand. I made all my patterns by hand. I did draping, all of that. So this is going to be exciting to learn the digital version of that through Illustrator, through this program. I'm excited to make my own PDF patterns. I'm excited for what's going to come after this course. I know I'm going to learn a whole lot. I'm going to get a lot of refreshers of information I know, but probably forgot over the last 20 years. And so I'm really excited about this next opportunity. One thing I'm most excited about is being able to take all of these designs I have in my head and create them to be able to make clothes that I want to make, to be able to make patterns I want to sew. And while there's some amazing pattern companies out there, I am so excited to be able to make some of my own. And in turn, I'm excited to share those designs that I'm excited about with you. So basically, I'm just excited. I really don't know another word for that. Flabbergasted. Anyways, I just wrapped up my work day. It is Friday. It is now the weekend, and I'm finally able to open this up, log into the school, and start these courses. I just don't have words. I am so excited. On top of all of this, I'm not doing this alone. I'm really grateful for Amy over at DIBY Club Patterns. She has, partnered with me on making this school possible. And I'm also getting to do this along with my co-host over at the Social Hour podcast, Ashley. So the three of us are actually going through this school together, which I think makes all three of us feel a little more comfortable to have someone that we know really well to check in and ask questions along the way. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, Victoria is an amazing teacher. She's very involved. You get a lot of one-on-one attention, and I'm super excited. So with all of that being said, I have a big adventure ahead of me. The next 3 months are going to be crazy busy, but I am so pumped that this is something I can do on my own time, at my own pace over the next 90 days. So this will be a lot of my nights and weekends coming up, but it's going to be worth it. So I'm excited to start this tonight. It is Friday night. I ordered some takeout. It'll be here. I'm going to get my laptop, get in my comfy chair, and just start diving into the beginning of these courses and just get going. This is exciting. There's no other word for that. What other, please tell me, leave it in the comments. What other word is there to describe this excitement? Like, it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's been a hot minute since I've done any schooling of any type. I feel like I'm going to be a little rusty at first, to be honest, but I know it's going to be great. I do plan to share the journey with you all. If you want to see that, please let me know in the comments. I will be sharing some behind the scenes footage over on my stories over on Instagram. So be sure to hop on over there and follow me, Craft with Bethany, on Instagram. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here, go get in my comfy chair, my comfy jammies, and go start my course.